Good morning. It is Valentine's Day. So let's look at this weekend ahead. I apologize for the noise. It is incredibly windy right here, right now. So this weekend is not particularly eventful. However, it is quite frustrating, particularly when it comes to relationships. Our relationship planets are very frustrated right now. Venus is sitting still and in its detriment, or not sitting still, but it's moving very slowly. It's getting ready to station retrograde on, I believe, March 1st. Yeah, March 1st. Mars is moving very slow in its fall and retrograde because it is getting ready to station direct on February 23rd. So these are our relationship planets. It is our love and our interactions with others. It is our passion, right? And they are moving very slow. When the planets are moving slow, we need to be moving slow as well. Today, the moon is in Virgo and is being ruled by Mercury that has just this morning moved into Pisces. This is very intuitive. This is actually intuition and the logical mind kind of working together to see those little minute details that maybe you didn't see before. Maybe your gut was screaming something at you, but you weren't quite sure why. This could show you why. However, this energy used in its negative ways is also very narcissistic. It is nitpicky. It is somebody telling you that nothing you ever do is right type of energy. It is victim blaming. It is victim mentality. It's a combination. We all know those folks, right, that claim to be the victim because they're trying to be the savior type of thing. Like that type of energy here is going on as well. So throughout the weekend, make sure that you are listening to your intuition and you're moving slowly. Tomorrow, the moon moves into Libra and will then be being ruled by Venus in Aries. So we actually have a little circle going on there where we will have the moon ruled by Venus, Venus ruled by Mars, and Mars ruled by the moon, where they're all kind of talking to each other and having a conversation. This can be frustrating. There can be a lot of really like pent up anger coming out, a lot of passive aggressive type of behavior going on here. Mars has been like stewing in its emotional mess for quite some time now. It has had like this anger building up, not quite ready to hit that release button yet, so it's kind of coming out passive aggressively. Venus is in a space where it's ready to kind of make some impulsive decisions and things like that. So we really need to slow down, make sure we're not doing that. We're listening to our intuition. We're allowing our intuition to guide us throughout the weekend. This is a great time to lean into creative things. It's that combination of Mercury in Pisces with the moon in Virgo today is actually really great for creative endeavors. You can go with the flow mentally while also like subconsciously picking up all the little details. So I actually really like it when it's used in that way. But overall, the weekend is not eventful. However, it is frustrating. Do your best not to force things. Generally, when planets are debilitated in some way, whether it's in its detriment, in its fall, retrograde, whatever, especially the personal planets like what we have right now, this is when we tend to try to force things to happen because stuff isn't happening. We want to force it to happen. This is where we tend to fall into temptation and start making some questionable decisions. So really just make sure that you're slowing down and you're thinking things through and kind of using this in a more observant manner rather than an active manner right now. So let's pull some cards for the weekend. Let's see, what is our energy, the collective energy for the weekend? We got two of them here. We have a 10 of Wands and an 8 of Cups. I'm so glad that came out, actually. This is very much about doing your shadow work. This is about taking the time to do like this. That Mars retrograde in Cancer has been begging us to look at our emotional self, to review things that have caused us pain, and to really work with that energy. So when we have an 8 of Cups is like, it's walking away from things, but it's also like an emotional, spiritual journey, right? And 10 of Wands is about doing that work. It's about carrying that load. So it's also sometimes wants to tell us to put down the things that are not ours to carry, right? So if you're dealing with a relationship or a friendship for that matter, that is very heavy emotionally, make sure that you're not carrying weight that's not yours. Don't allow that victim blaming type of energy that's in the air to hold you down and keep you stuck. Make sure you're putting down the things that aren't yours, but also make sure that you're doing that inner work, that you are putting in the work on yourself, carrying the load that is yours, and working through those issues throughout the weekend. Anytime we have a retrograde personal planet, you want to be looking within and seeing what is coming up and processing those things as they come up. Those thoughts, I said it before, I don't think I said it over here, but we tend to have intrusive thoughts when a personal planet is retrograde. Those thoughts are for you. They're not for the other person. We need to let go of this whole, well, if you're thinking about them, then they're thinking about you. No, that's not what this is for. We're not reaching out to them. This is for you to review what is going on within yourself and review the past and kind of think about, how did you get there? What can you do differently? And things of that nature. That is for you to process, okay? What's to focus on? But the weekend could feel emotional and heavy and frustrating. So just keep that in mind. What do we need to focus on for this weekend as a collective? Let's see, what do we have? The moon, the things that are unseen. So the moon is also very reflective of the things that are hidden in the dark, right? So like our fears and things of that nature. If you're in a relationship or a friendship that maybe is a bit challenging and somehow it managed to make it through the South Node in Libra and it's still going, this energy that we have going on right now has probably been challenging it, and it's going to continue to be challenged once Venus also moves retrograde. Really, if you're hanging on to something that isn't working, that's dragging you down, pay attention to that and start asking yourself why you're hanging on to it. Is there a fear involved? Are you afraid of being alone? Are you afraid of losing a friendship? Sometimes we have to learn how to let go of the things that we don't want to let go of for our best. So really focus on those things that maybe you've been trying to shove in a corner somewhere. This is actually the Pisces card. So that really, whatever intuitive things are coming up, whatever fears are coming up, really pay attention to those so that you can start processing through that. What to avoid this weekend? That's way too much. Just one card, please. We've got Eight of Pentacles. We're not actually going to be doing any physical work, okay? We don't want to. This is a time for processing. It's a time for reviewing. It is a time to slow down, not actually trying to make things happen, but processing what is current now, okay? So really dig into your subconscious, dig into your psyche, dig into your fears, dig into the emotions that are coming up. You don't necessarily have to do something physical with them, right? This is about that spiritual process, the spiritual journey of trying to work through them right now, okay? Let's pull our clarifiers on the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Oh, I had one flipped upside down in there. That's weird. Okay. Clarifiers on the Eight of Cups and the Ten of Wands, please. We have a Six of Wands and one more. Oh, and the Two of Swords. This is about choosing your own victory, right? Things are not very clear. They haven't been clear for a while. I think we've all been. This Jupiter and Gemini has been doing a whole number on the collective in general. Just everything is getting thrown at you at once, right? We really got to learn how to let go of trying to find this is the nodal axis right now, actually. Letting go of trying to control every little tiny detail of everything and moving towards trusting that intuition in order to move forward. That Two of Swords is very crossroadsy. It's about not really being able to see the path forward, but having to make a decision based on our intuition anyway. So really, it's about we're leaning into our intuition to choose our own victory, to choose a situation where we can thrive rather than survive. And doing that that like inner work to be able to get to that place. And that is kind of that's just the energy of the weekend. Like that's kind of what's driving you to continue to move forward for yourself, okay? Let's pull clarifiers on the moon, please. Now, if you were working with the nodal axis over the last year and a half, you were finding yourself. You were finding your true, authentic self, right? And now we're moving into a space where once we've found ourselves, we can trust our intuition better. And we're moving into that space where we're moving towards trusting that intuition and kind of going with the flow and the spiritual guidance, right? So clarifiers for the moon, we have Seven of Cups. That is that confusion, like the cloudiness that's there, that's existing right now, that's been existing for a hot minute. Five of Wands and King of Pentacles, okay? Again, the intuition is super, super strong here. We have Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, and the North Node all in Pisces. The moon's going to join, or the sun's going to join it here in a few days, actually on Monday or Tuesday, I believe, the 18th, whatever day that is. So this is all about leaning into that intuition. The Five of Wands with the King of Pentacles here, this is like, if you've been leaning on like your intuitive boundaries, your spiritual boundaries, your emotional boundaries, and you're still seeing a lot of pushback, you're probably in like these little petty arguments here and there where you're trying to defend like your stability, whether it's financial or otherwise. You're trying to defend your decisions and you've got other people always pushing back on you. Maybe you're making these decisions based on your intuition and everybody else around you is calling you crazy or whatever. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, is make sure that you are focusing on that intuition, even if things are cloudy, and standing up for what you believe in, standing up for what you know is to come, what you know is best for you, and your own stability in that. Okay. Let's pull the clarifiers for the Eight of Pentacles. We are avoiding the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Magician. And it feels a little bit like that that Virgo Pisces pull here that we're seeing, and the Two of Wands. Okay, so we're avoiding like going back to the drawing board and trying to do things over, right? And honestly, when we have these retrogrades, that's kind of the point. We're not going to restart. We're not going to do more work. We're going to slow down and review what's already been done so that we can get to that later, right? And this is kind of my feeling here is, you know that you have the tools that you need to be able to move forward, to be able to manifest something, to be able to make that decision to move towards the things that light you up and make you happy and really that give you that passion and fire, right? But with Mars sitting so still, now is not the time, okay? We have Page of Wands on the bottom. So the underlying energy is like there really is a lot of like passion and fire and drive type of energy in the air right now, but it's being halted, right? We don't want to actually do anything with it. So again, we're not doing anything physical with it. We're doing like mental work with it. We're doing sorting through our intuition and letting it guide us as to where to go next, okay? So again, this weekend we really need to slow down, make sure you're not making any rash decisions. Just know that you have what you need to make things happen. You just got to kind of sort through what's going on in your head first before you can make any steps forward. And you just kind of got to work with the energy right now of that slowing down and not trying to jump headfirst into something no matter how excited you are over it. Okay, so take care of yourself over the weekend. Slow down. This is a great weekend for art. Okay, it's an absolutely great weekend to kind of bury yourself into creating art, listening to art, watching art, whatever it is. So slow down, take care of yourself, and enjoy the weekend.